2. And we're good.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's adventure in Dungeons and Dad Jokes. All of us would love for you to become a subscriber, so just hit that subscribe button and join in the live chat, get notifications, and share it with your friends. You can also check out our webpage at dndadjokes.com, where you can get more information about us, our characters, story updates, news about what's coming up, town crier. You can find out I said that, didn't I? Story updates and a GM's Corner. So check it out. You can also find us on our social media pages, which should be in our description at this point. All of our social media
They are.
links. Great. So let us
Except
get
for mine,
started.
I don't check them ever, really.
Well, I don't check a whole lot of mine, my personal ones, that's for sure. So let's get started on tonight's episode, number 32, Espionage and Treachery. So last week, what did we do last week? After replenishing some supplies and directions, the group heads out toward Nyliesh. On the fourth day, they come across the tall pillar that they were told marks about the halfway point between Lipgate and the city of Nyliesh. They make camp and have a peaceful evening, and in the light of morning, decide to investigate this pillar more thoroughly. Tapping on the stone, Fix informs the party that he believes it to be hollow. So Kadeth, whose eyes seem to fog over as he uses his ghostly gaze to see through the rock, he confirms that it is indeed hollow and seems to have a ladder extending through to what appears to be an elbow type of joint filled with gears. Fix, now extremely curious, asks Forsyth to drop him off at the top, and he finds his way down into the hollow pillar. While down there investigating, he takes a moment to reach out to Gon, who gives him a vision of a moving farmland that this pillar was once part of. Following some small craters seen from above by Forsyth, the group runs into a group of Marger goatmen. One surviving attacker is released and told to move on. Stop attacking the people. Another 3 days, and they come upon the large city that seems to be built upon a platform. The group recognizes the legs holding this city aloft as being similar to the pillar that they had passed. Fix sees immediately that this does have one missing leg. They approach, have a brief conversation with a couple of guards, and are taken to an upper level, the first tier of the city. All in the group quickly realize that most of the people who inhabit the city are mutated in some way. They have extra fingers, extra toes, web footing, webs on their fingers, unnatural skin colors, scales, unique eyes, all kinds of stuff. Upon inquiry, the group are directed to Galago, a mage. Galago has an extremely short stature, only 2 feet tall. He stands upon his counter and answers some questions. He bargains for a teleportation that was asked for by Fix. For his services, he has asked the group to go to the second tier and retrieve a special ink being held for him by Shania. He describes her as tall, skinny, golden-skinned woman, and they take off. He was unsure of her exact whereabouts, but assured the party that she stands out in a crowd. Once agreed, they head to the middle level of the city, the second tier. Stepping out of the lift, they immediately notice the difference. The middle level has streets that seem to only be dark alleys. The lighting is dim throughout, and the buildings are close to one another. After traveling through the streets, noticing only symbols above the doors, no names, Fix spots someone with a dagger pendant, similar to the Jagged Dream. He was asked about Shanae, and the gentleman leads them to an unmarked door and welcomes them in. The door opens to reveal multiple people around the perimeter of the room and a beautifully golden woman who emits her own dim light, sitting expectantly at a table. I don't know what I did. I made something happen on my computer. There we go. Fixed it. She looks at you, eyes the party. This woman goes through each party member, kind of glancing at each of you. Lingers a little bit longer on Forsyth. Kind of gets a little bit of a curious look. You're in an elven form right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Looks at you a little bit more curiously. And then rests her eyes upon Evangeline.
Yes.
Are you two going to make out?
I was informed you were looking for me. What brings you down here?
Ink?
Well,
Okay.
if we were looking for you and you're down here, then you're the one that brought us down here.
What do you need me for?
Oh,
Smart ass.
ink.
Ink?
Like she said, ink.
Ink, you say? Was it
Special ink.
Galago that sent you?
Shirt guy about like this high. Yeah, that's him.
Yep, Galago.
Did you guys
Well,
have a falling out?
no.
Is he no
Not,
longer your boyfriend?
He is very enamored with you.
no.
So you are still boyfriend and girlfriend. Okay, then what's the problem? Where's the ink?
I have it. Well, I can procure it quite easily enough.
Let me guess. You need us to do something for you to procure it.
I would.
Quid pro quo.
A quid pro quo.
Was not a bargain already procured? Why is there another bargain coming up?
Kmart. It's always a bargain.
Blue light special.
Leverage.
I will look at Fix and I will tell him, I get the feeling that that level and this level and possibly that level, they don't get along too well, maybe. They seem to cause trouble for one another?
Yeah. Fix looks to her and says, "Is that true?"
Entirely. I mean, there is some truth to it.
So this seems to be a city of, let's just use the common nomenclature for the rest of the world, mutants, who are used to being ostracized, and you come to a city where you ostracize yourselves among yourselves.
Jackassery. That was the word I was thinking of. Jackassery.
Yes, there is much
Jackassery.
jackassery.
Yes.
I was going to be a little bit more polite and say mischief.
Don't
I
you
don't
have
know
a
about
six
that.
charisma as well?
Polite doesn't seem to fit.
Here's the thing. Fix is very charismatic, but he's just kind of tired of the
I
games
was
at this
talking
point.
to Evangeline. I said, "Don't you have a low charisma too? Why
Oh,
were you
Yep.
going to be nice?"
Because these things scare the hell out of me.
Not right. It's not right.
You are not from this city. That is obvious.
What gave it away?
yeah. No, I am not from Gond City.
So, Gond's city. I know nothing of Gond.
Well, I know this, but this is his city.
Ask, don't ask.
I see.
No one ever asks. Ever.
It's not something that I wish you to procure for me. I simply wish for your presence to be seen by a
So
certain
now,
someone.
so now we're arm candy.
Probably more like thinly veiled aggression.
Okay.
I mean,
Perceptive one, that
I
one.
I tend to
Okay.
be
S-
hard to miss
Spiky
as
arm
the
candy.
Like she are.
Spiky arm candy.
We're pop rocks. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, if you intend to threaten to give them soda after having Pop Rocks, I have news for you. It doesn't actually kill you.
But it's hilarious for everyone who witnesses it.
uh,
Who is it exactly
Who do
you
you
wish
want?
us to be
Oh,
seen by?
there is a young girl.
There's a lot of them.
Young is relative. She is a young girl. She is currently in the keep of this tier. She is under the watchful eyes of Nichos Nichodos, and she is much like your friend here. And she looks again at Evangeline.
Is Evangeline not human?
She is human.
Evangeline
Evangeline
is
is
human.
very human.
Very
Okay.
human.
I'm wondering why she's looking at her.
What do you mean she's like me? She's normal?
Wow.
She was
Wow.
born with.
You said that right out loud.
Yeah,
Okay.
she will roll with it. She was born without mutation.
I wasn't.
You're also male.
Not if I don't want to be.
Okay,
Do you,
so
does,
spell it
does
out. You want her watchful eye person to realize that it's okay to not be mutated?
I want the young girl. Her name is Onasa. I want her to know it is okay to not be mutated.
Whatever. Where's she at? I just want the ink.
She'll say it's she'll kind of wave, and a few
That's
of the people
colorful of you.
move about and gather some things. And one of them will lay a parchment on the desk, and she will grab it and she will unroll it.
Does it have a spell on it?
We are here. Does it have a spell on it? No, it does not. We are here.
I'm all of a sudden curious about spell books.
I do solemnly swear.
I am up to no good.
No, she says we are in this district here.
I like maps too.
She will kind of run her finger along the map and she will point to like one of the largest buildings in this area. Most of the buildings on this map you can see are very tiny. They're about the size of the room that you're in. A lot of the buildings are one, maybe two rooms on a lower level, and then an upper level usually has like a little living quarter or something of that nature. They're very small and compact. But she will point to a larger building toward the other end of the city, almost the furthest from the lift you could get. She says this is the home of Nichodos. She is the leader of this tier. He will not take kindly to me sending somebody for Onasa.
So I'm here because the freak upstairs wants to eat. Because the freak we're with wants teleportation. And now this freak wants me to go to that freak
and speak with somebody who is not mutated.
Who's not a freak?
So to speak with somebody who's not a freak. But it could be dangerous. What do I get out of all of this?
Highly.
You get out of this city.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Get out of this city. I mean, you are.
The quick way.
So how do I get in to see this girl?
Very.
Since this other guy obviously don't want nobody
Carefully.
to see this girl. Well,
Maybe what you need is another girl.
I mean,
can I take
you need
another girl with me?
I will
you could take another
change
girl
shape
with you. You could take your
into
whole
a young
party.
Yeah, but I will become a young elven girl.
Okay, now she's impressed.
she will smirk a little bit. You will need to get into the keep. She is most likely in the upper level of this building. If you can manage a way into it unseen, that would be your best option. Your whole group can go if you so choose. You can work out the details.
Let's see, how about pass without trace?
So, what exactly, besides the ink, is in this for us? Because honestly, well, being teleported where we wish to go would be great. It seems to be more trouble than just walking to the next major city.
It could indeed be more trouble than walking to the next major city.
So, the question remains, what's in this for us?
She will take a moment and you see her kind of stilling herself. It looks like she's kind of clearing her mind a little bit.
And by the way, I apologize. My tone is off. I've had a rough week and it's only been 2 days. So Fix would say that much more jovially and more like Fix.
You're good. But she will take a moment to still herself. You can see that she's kind of clearing her mind a little bit, kind of getting herself in a resolved position. And then she lays one of her hands forward. On her hand is a ring. It has a blue gem cut in a dome. It's almost a blue opal, really. Cut in a dome shape. Inside it, it almost looks like a galaxy if you look close enough to it. Says, I will give you my own ring. Are you detecting magic, Evangeline? Is that why you asked if it was magical, or did you openly ask if it was magical?
I'll detect magic as soon as
I
you start throwing
actually,
at that.
yeah, I will not cast detect magic because I can only do it ritually now because Cadeth can do it.
Yeah, I'll do it though.
At will.
Okay.
Which
You
one's
cast
Will?
it's Will. You see the ring glows with abjuration. Magic.
Okay.
You know it's warding magic.
Looks like a nice ring.
is indeed. It is what's kept me safe all these years in the second tier.
And you're willing to simply part with it for this.
I am.
I wanted something. I didn't want your life.
I want to do an insight check.
I want a puppy.
Well, then you should have
gotta
stayed
cut-
back in our first city.
Puppies are kind of hard to come by around here. However, Nichodos does have some sekis. Sekis? Is that Seskies? Seskies. Not so friendly puppies.
I rolled a 15.
15. Let me see. How much is she trying to hide this? Oof, not that much. Because I can't roll. You get the feeling that she would pretty much risk anything for this. You get the feeling that this is life or death to her.
Who is this girl to you? And I will glare.
She is my daughter.
We'll do it.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
What do you mean we?
Okay, I'll do it. Well, Evangeline will do it. I'll help.
I'm
I will help.
volunteers.
I will help also.
Yeah.
Speaker gives Evangeline a very level stare that she's probably seen him do before. It's like, are we really going to do this?
I will turn and I will look at Seeker and I will say, if I don't do it, he'll never shut up about it.
Ooh,
Fix. I'm pointing at Fix.
oh, he's easy to tune out.
Yeah, but the record just keeps going on and on.
Then you simply walk away. Whatever. This is ridiculous.
For that easy.
It
And
is.
when
You
I-
see this room?
When I see this girl, what do I do? What do you want me to do? Do you want me to bring her to you? You just want her to see me?
I want her to see you,
Just see me.
to talk to you.
I'm not a very pleasant person, but I
We
can
know.
try.
Let me give you just a bit of background here. She is, of course, my child. She was born without mutation. In this city, the Fahat looks poorly upon those without mutation.
You never
Nichodos,
see it the other way around like that. It's hilarious.
yes. Nichodos, for reasons long ago, took my daughter away from me. Bad blood. And she has, upon her 20th birthday, which is happening soon, is going to go before the council and the priests of Fahat to be mutated.
Oh, well, now that's a whole nother story.
She, as far as my spies can tell, is totally on board with this and believes she is doing this for her city, for her mother. Her eye twitches.
She goes a little burnt umber. Oh.
Upon hearing that, Seeker's demeanor changes drastically, and he seems even more committed to help than he was a moment ago.
I wish for her not to go through with this, regardless of what Nechotus's plan is for
It's
her.
just barbaric that you would taint the purity of a soul to become any kind of just like that at her.
Born.
Yeah, we're very charismatic.
So I
I glow like
understand
this naturally.
I understand that you don't want her to do this, but at the end of the day, it is her choice, and I am all on board to show her that it is completely acceptable to be non-mutated, and to if Evangeline is on board with it, to talk to her about this. I'm not on board with forcing her decision in one way or the other.
Accepting of that. It is her decision ultimately, but she
You
has never seen any others.
agreed. You said you have spies.
I do.
We
How do
need
you
their
come by
information.
this? Yeah. How do you contact them?
Kind of smiles and then looks about the room.
Fix looks about the room and says, "You can leave now."
They are all my spies.
Oh,
I don't have anybody in my employ that does not spy for me.
I look around the room and say, we need your information. If you want me to do this, I need all the information that I can possibly get.
Fix takes a close look at her. Does she have anything around her neck?
She does not. Dishwasher is clean. No, she does not. She is not wearing anything around her neck.
And the guy that we met on the road is still in here, right?
In there?
You're muted. Or you?
Oh.
I didn't hear you.
How did I get muted?
You're not
You're
anymore,
not
but you're
muted.
good.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't hear you.
Like, nothing shows me I'm muted.
But he is still in there?
Yeah, he's in there. She will kind of motion, and one of the guys standing on the wall will step forward. It's like, he is the one that's been the closest to the family at any given time, and even then he's not been actually inside the keep.
I will look at him and say, tell me what you know about getting inside the keep.
He will kind of look to her. She gives him a little nod. He says, the keep is there's the main floor, the upper floor, and there is a basement level. As far as I can tell, Onasa is kept on the second floor. For the most part. Every now and then she comes out with Nechotos to do other things, but it is rare. On the second floor, there is a window that is facing to the south. That underneath that window does have a roof covering another section of the house from the lower floor. You should be able to get into that window if you have means of unlocking or walking ethereally or something of that nature. There are in this house, though, to be warned, there are a couple of guards. There are at least 2 Seski, and of course, if Nechotos herself is there, she can be quite dangerous herself.
Why would they attack us for simply showing your daughter what purity is?
Nichodo seems to have ulterior motives that she does not want to wane. And as of right now, Onasa has only seen those of us who are mutated. She's never seen anybody who is not. And so that in and of itself is a power that she holds, that she will not readily give up.
And Seeker, imagine the reaction if a group of mutants walked into Key and started trying to proselytize that being a mutant was okay. How would you and your order react?
Swiftly.
Yes, ignorantly.
That was
Got it.
I didn't
my
say
synonym.
ignorant. Don't you dare put words in my mouth. I spoke the words that I wish to speak. You will not change them. Do you understand me?
No. He looks
You're in
to
trouble.
Oh,
Doesn't mean it's not.
the person talking and says, "So, what would it take to bring them out of the keep?"
she comes out for high-profile criminals, people that she is hunting herself. She will come out for diplomatic purposes. She goes to the first tier every so often, and sometimes to the third tier, but mostly to the first.
He kind of glances towards the original guy in the back to him and says, "So, would you be able to cause some sort of chaos outside that would lure her out to deal with it?"
Dang, I could have done that.
Really cause some chaos
Well, we might
outside.
need you.
Might need
True.
you inside. I could definitely cause chaos outside. I don't know if it would be good enough to draw her out.
What would be good enough?
I have an idea.
Yes, Forsyth.
I do have the ability to detect her thoughts, and we could use those thoughts against her to get her outside.
Don't you have to be fairly close?
Yeah, but I can get pretty close without her actually knowing it. Because small animals don't always get noticed. Just a thought.
Well, sometimes they get eaten by cats.
Sometimes they eat cats.
Yes, but that is disgusting. What were you saying,
Just offering it
Kadath?
as an option.
I was just saying, I forget, is that a spell or is that ability?
That's feet.
So that's
Telekinetic.
part of, right,
Uh,
but detect thoughts is actually a spell, isn't it?
Yes, it is a spell, but yeah, it comes without
So you
the
still-
cost of a regular spell.
Right, but you still have to cast it, and you can't do that as an animal.
No, but I can get close as an animal, hide in the room, and then detect thoughts from there.
Yeah. And as far as getting into the room where the girl is, I can get me and one other person in there relatively easy.
As long as I can get within 30 feet of them, I can detect their thoughts.
Okay.
30 feet is
Um,
quite close to be trying to cast a spell unseen. I can do it. Don't know that you can do it.
Well, and
You get
how long does it last?
A minute.
by
So
the
wouldn't
time
be
you
able-
get within 30 feet, she will have already detected your thoughts. Be forewarned.
So she has
Oh,
some
okay.
abilities for things like that.
She does.
She has to notice me.
How can we get her to bring the girl
Well-
outside the keep today?
today. I do
Let's
not.
keep on fire? Just kidding.
Yeah. Set something on fire.
Because I could get myself and one other person into the room where the girl is if it's on if it has a window like that.
If she comes out of the keep, if Onasa comes out of the keep, Nichodos will be with her.
All I have to do is see her.
Well, she wanted you to talk to her too.
Yeah, all I have to do is see her.
Here.
Then I can talk to her.
Perhaps if you can get her to come to the window. If all you have to do is see her.
What kind of protection is around the keep?
Of it right now, there are 4 guards and 2 Seski around the keep. They rotate. Fairly regular patterns. Two guards are on the ground. One guard stays inside, and one guard stays on top. There is a balcony, basically on the second level, and he stays on that. He walks around on that. That balcony, unfortunately, does have view of the window, so you'll have to watch that. The Seski stay on the ground with the other 2 guards. They roam the ground. They're not on leashes or anything. They roam the grounds. Seskis are particularly fond of meat.
So are cave bears.
How can you get us in the window?
I can get myself and one other person in there with dimension door.
Okay.
Assuming it's not somehow magically protected against teleportation spells. And I just have to either have a good description or be able to see it, or at least give a good direction, like that direction 200 feet or whatever.
Inside that window?
Yeah, basically.
The spy will let you know if you can climb the building next to it. You may be able to see through the window without climbing the keep. But the building next to it is 20 feet from. It doesn't have any buildings within 20 feet of it.
Is it within 20 feet of the window?
It'd be about 30 feet from the window.
Oh.
And
So possibly Misty Steppable. Also, if anyone knows Misty Step
I do not.
other than me.
Play Misty Step for me. I can fly up there.
Or what I was thinking is I could get me and someone else in the window inside, and then open the window, and then you guys could fly in.
That would work.
That way you don't have to be flying and trying to open the window at the same time.
Logically. Not that we really want to go make a logic of things, but yeah.
She will want to take a walkabout. We're thinking really hard here.
Yeah,
That's that funny sound, right? Hard
Yeah.
I
thinking.
think I think that we need to make a plan and go. Since obviously she wants her to see me, I need to get to where she's at.
I'd say if we can get up on top of that other building, across from the window, I'll dimension door me and you into the room. If need be, I can charm her quickly while you get the door open. If she doesn't try to, alert anyone right away, then you can start talking to her while I open the window, or I can. And then the others can fly over at that point.
So our goal is not to remove her.
Or is
Seems
it to
like the goal is
provoke her?
to talk to her.
Give her an alternate choice.
Yes.
Yeah. And I can share with her my views on it, seeing as I'm someone who doesn't quite look like everyone else myself. I may be able to provide a little insight into what others can be like if you give them a chance.
Sounds like a plan.
All right then. She will point at the gentleman and say, lead them to the keep. Well, lead them near the keep.
Yeah.
Do not be seen. And keep your thoughts clear. Or at least vague.
Oh, my thoughts are always vague.
You say that she detect our thoughts and to keep thoughts clear. Does this person have telepathic powers? I'm guessing.
She does, indeed.
To what extent?
She can sense thoughts up to 100 feet of her. She has quite a range. But because of the amount of people here, she doesn't usually open it up. So unless she kind of keeps an ear out for buzzwords in thoughts, such as Onasa, or her own name, or anything that may have to do with overthrowing or fighting against her. She does listen for buzzwords, but everything else just becomes white noise to her. So if you keep it vague.
Well, we should have no problem with me. I'm still trying to figure out why in the world I want to do this.
I don't.
This seems like an awful lot of work for some ink.
It does. I'm glad someone said it.
Well, there's also the ring. And the fact that it's, to stop what sounds like a horrible person from doing a horrible thing to a child. There are those reasons.
Didn't you say she's going to be 20?
Yes,
That's a horrible thing.
he is a child.
Oh, that's child age to those of us that actually have long lives.
By the time I was her age, let's go.
Only because you're going. Sure.
All right.
Let's
take
get
to the
over
sky.
with. As fascinating as I find this city, the people in it I do not find fascinating so far.
I'm sure they'd say the same in Key.
Forsyth takes to the sky as an eagle.
Right. Well, eagle might be a
Inside
little
this-
large here.
Inside this, what is kind of basically an indoor space.
Yes, it is
Yeah.
an indoor space.
That's well. Then fine. Then he will go as a swift.
That will work.
That will work.
Not as many hit points, but yeah.
No, it is not. But eagle going through here, your wingspan will be hitting buildings.
Evangeline will go as herself.
Well,
Oh, by
that's
the
good.
way, is
That's
Buckley
why you
still with
want
us?
Buckley is still with you, to my knowledge. Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Didn't you repair him?
I did.
All right.
There's no, but there's no reaction to Buckley by the other people. I haven't seen anything. They're not taken back by him
Nope.
or anything like that.
As far
Okay.
as they know, he's just another mutated creature.
Wonderful.
They will. The one guard that was, or the one spy that was talking to you about the actual keep itself, will introduce himself as Timolt, because that's the first word that popped in my head.
Tumultuous.
Tumultuous.
Been there, done that.
And he'll say, "Come, follow me."
It's awfully. This is getting awfully close to Romeo and
Come
Juliet.
follow me.
At least you've moved away from The Witcher.
I haven't read Romeo and Juliet so long.
New city, new show.
New city, new show. All right. So you head through the streets. He guides you around. He takes you past the keep. You kind of come at it from a different angle than she originally pointed out. And he will walk you past the keep, and you see a very nice building that has stairs going up to an entryway. And that's where the first level starts. So it seems like maybe the basement's not completely underneath the flooring. It is raised up just a little bit. And then, of course, the second level is above that. So you're looking at like 1.5 level up. But he'll take you by there. He kind of talks you through the window as you're walking by. You do see that there is a walkway up above. If you take a quick glance, you will see one of the guards kind of just making his way around. He's just walking around it, and then walking past down the front of the house. But beyond that walkway, you will see like the roof of the lower level and a window just above that. There is a light on in that window or in that room. You do see some shadow movement and whatnot in that room, so you know somebody or something is there at least. And then he'll take you to the next building over, and walk around the outside of that building toward the back end of that building. He will let you know that this building here has a ledge, and he'll kind of just point up, and you'll see that there is a ledge big enough for you to perch on that goes around the entirety of the building up on the second floor. He said that is the perch with the best vantage.
Okay. Any recommended ways to get up there?
Points to a ladder.
Very well. I'll start climbing. I'll look around and make sure we're not being watched or anything, but I'll start climbing.
Perceptions.
Passive won't cut it.
Well, you can take your passive if it's bigger.
11.
Roll more.
I rolled my passive.
22 for Seeker.
No, 12. Sorry, I rolled one above.
I need to see what my passive would be as a Swift.
I apologize. What are we rolling?
Perception.
Perception. Helps if I have my character sheet up.
Actually, they don't have Swift on here, but
you can take any bird that's
yeah.
not giant. A non-giant
19.
bird.
A raven then.
That'll work. You can use that one. 19.
50 foot.
Yep.
50 foot speed.
Nevermore.
Yeah. Nevermore.
Yeah, it's the same perception as mine anyway. So 18.
All right. Evangeline, what did you roll?
An 11.
An 11. Okay. All right. Speaker.
Yes.
You are going to notice that as you guys are getting up to the top, you don't notice anybody like following you in the streets. But as you kind of get up to the second landing and you kind of just look over at the building real briefly, because, you know, that's natural for you to watch that kind of movement. You do see that the upper level guard, first of all, has changed. So they've changed positions since you've climbed up. They've all changed positions. But the upper level guard signals down to the lower guard. And the signal that he gives is very much militaristic, like stay on alert. Like, so they're a little bit more heightened at the moment.
Okay. I will make sure that through our sub-vocal, whatever thing that we use, that I let the rest of my party members know that that is what's going on. So be very careful, basically.
All right.
I have no spells to help with this, so just gonna have to rely on some stealth.
All right. As you guys make your way around the corner, I will need some stealth checks.
And I'm just gonna get to where I can see the window. That's all I'm doing.
Okay.
Am I at disadvantage on the broom for stealth because of my arm? I know I'm wearing chainmail.
I'm
Oh,
gonna say no for this one because they're not expecting a broom. Brooms are not flying
16.
brooms are not common.
All right.
rolled a natural.
All right.
25.
Nice.
Nobody sees the black raven flying high as he can.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Good.
Probably not out of place though.
I gotta get you some new dice.
No, that doesn't matter. I'm rolling at disadvantage.
Oh.
Oh yeah, because of his
My other die was a 17.
14.
But I got a 3.
14. Okay. Well, collectively, you guys are doing okay.
I didn't hurt us.
Cadet, you make some noise coming up the stairs and whatnot, but it's not in viewable range, and so they kind of just they look. Seeker, you see them kind of looking around. They hear it, but they don't seem to be seeing you guys.
Well, that's good.
So you get up to the roof or the landing point there. You get there and you kind of look through the window. In the window, you see a woman, a human, 20 years old. She's a woman. She seems to be following another person out. The woman has a blonde hair, fair skin, wearing dark clothing. You kind of only see the back side of her as she's walking out. She seems to be following something. You kind of do a double take. At first you're like, oh, it's just another woman. That might be Nichodos. But as you kind of do a double take, you realize that she's not actually walking out. She's slithering out.
Yeah.
So her bottom is a snake. Great.
Naga. Get that hide. Need that Naga hide.
But you do see the room. You can see the room and most of its layout. You kind of see the edge of a bed. You see a dresser on the far side.
Right.
You see maybe a desk, a chair. You don't see the
The
whole
two of
desk.
them
You
are
see a chair.
leaving the room, or
They are leaving the room.
And we don't see the girl we're after.
The
no,
girl
she's
followed her out,
following the
Okay.
Naga chick.
basically leaving the room empty.
Well, getting into the room should be easier that way.
They're
But
working on leaving the room. The window is closed.
right, which window being closed isn't a problem at the moment.
We are on a ledge.
Yeah, you are on a ledge about 30 feet away from the window.
There is something I could do. I could bring her to us.
The girl?
Uh-huh.
Do it.
Or you could.
Good. And then you can take her back if you want.
I can cast vortex warp.
Do it.
Go
Do
for
it.
I'll be ready to charm her as soon as she gets
I'm
here.
gonna
if
cast
needed.
vortex warp
Okay.
on the girl.
Okay.
The 20-year-old girl. The one I'm supposed to be talking to. The space around her will warp. She will disappear. And I will bring her to the ledge.
We'll freeze. She doesn't. She's looking at you guys. You can see she's on that edge. She's gonna.
I'm prepared to cast charm person if she even looks like she's gonna scream.
I will.
Gonna scream.
Then I'm gonna cast charm person
and say, "Don't scream."
What is the save for charm person?
Here to talk.
Wisdom.
You're safe.
But the wisdom save.
17.
17. Oh, she saved.
I'm not here to take you. I'm here to talk to you.
Play persuasion. Because she sees her house. So she knows where she's at.
$17.
Right. Full cut glances at her house.
I can put you back as quickly as I took you out.
Probably good. Be good. As soon as Mother sees I'm not there, she will raise the alarm. Speak. Who are you?
My name is Evangeline, and I'm a perfectly normal, non-mutated female.
As am I, but male.
Sent you.
Apparently,
Yo, mama. I'm just kidding.
your other mother.
Your mama.
Your real mother.
At this point, can I get to where they are?
Oh yeah, easily enough, especially as a raven.
Okay. All right. I'm going to come in and I'm going to land and become a human girl. Which will confuse the crap out of her.
I am here to tell you there is another way. You don't have to mutate to be productive.
Speak for yourself.
I'm not here to
Mother.
What? I missed what you said.
I don't know. I don't know. I just got to town a few hours ago. the really tall, skinny woman.
Apparently, your real mother had to give you to this. I forget what her name was already.
The
Nyota?
snake thing that you were walking behind, that thing.
Was it Nyota? What?
Nachotos.
Nachota, whatever. My brain is not.
It's in here.
today.
It's
I can't
Chipotle.
do names.
Yeah.
I can't do names. I got the N right, so you know.
Close enough.
It's Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Yeah,
Chipotle, yeah,
that's
there
it.
you go.
Now I'm hungry.
Apparently, your real mother had to give you up.
We actually
to
have
this
no clue what
person.
happened.
You would have to confirm that with the two of them at some point. But she was concerned that you had been told that becoming mutated was the only viable option. And even though she herself is mutated, she wanted to make it known to you that being not mutated is okay too. And our group is living proof of that. We have both those
Mostly.
who are considered mutants, although we blend in rather well.
That would be me.
Points
Well,
to Forsyth.
and myself, because if you haven't noticed, I am rather tall.
You are quite tall.
But I was also raised by people who were a mix of both. Those who would be considered mutant but can blend in, and those who aren't.
And whether you can blend in or not, being a mutant is not bad. Being non-mutated is not bad. You can live a full, wonderful life of your choosing.
Enjoy life, and I can mutate if I want.
Why do you want to be mutated?
Well, I have to be.
Why do you have to be?
I am promised in service to Gavoreth.
Who's Gavor whatever?
Gavoreth?
Gavoreth. He is the leader of the first tier.
And by in service, do you mean to be married, to be wed, to be a What exactly do you mean?
Don't really know. I've not met him.
Then why accept this fate?
Well,
it doesn't seem
of
right.
Diplomat.
Yeah, but you're still a person. You have choices in life. You should be able to make them.
Does she in this society?
I mean, there are so many choices out there. And if you feel stuck here in this place, realize there's a whole world out there where you can be whatever you want. You don't have to be relegated to being controlled by someone. You're an adult. Live life. Don't accept servitude when you don't have to.
Correct me if I'm wrong, dear girl. Your whole life you've been told that this is your duty, something you must do in service to whatever. Is that the case?
Like you speak from experience?
Well, where I come from, there are rules and there are regulations, but what my friends here and I are trying to convey to you is something that flies in the face of everything you've been taught to believe. But at the end of the day, if you search your heart and you understand the core of who you are and what you are, devoid of anybody's thoughts or senses, semblances of what you owe them, it's to yourself that one must be true. The person who sent us to talk to you clearly wanted you to understand that. The choice you make still remains yours to make. But at the end of the day, consider, is it really your choice if you're doing something for someone other than yourself? That is all I wish to say.
And can you do that choice without a mutation to your own person?
How I would be, could be, ostracized from the city. Could be.
There are many cities.
There's a big world out there.
Most of those cities would not ostracize you for wanting to be something other than what someone else wants you to be.
In fact, do you want to see one of these cities?
Intrigue me. Tell me who is my other mother? My real mother?
I'll tell her the name since I'm the one who brought it up. I don't remember the name, but
Shania.
yeah,
Shania O'Connor.
Linnea O'Connor.
Yes, Shania.
Shania Twain.
Yeah. I have much to think about.
Well, we were clearly instructed just to give you the vision of that there are others like yourself, and that ultimately the choice is yours. So correct me if I'm wrong, Evangeline, but our job is done here.
I believe so. The choice is yours.
Would you like us to return you to the keep, to your room?
Yes, please. I have some things to search for.
And before we send you back, the offer is real. If you wish us to take you to another major city, we can make that happen, and I can make sure that you are well cared for. If you do not wish to stay here,
When do you leave?
as soon as
Oh,
possible.
we leave soon, but we can also make arrangements that would make it possible for you to do that at another time if you need to.
As long as you going to the city does not have yet another condition of something, some quid pro quo crap that seems to be prevalent in your society. We have
It
things
is
to do.
prevalent in every society.
It is very tit for tat here, for sure.
Well,
But
Tell
well,
you this.
I have titted. Now it's time for you to
Oh
tap.
my God.
wow,
Uh,
you got a face palm.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
um,
Wow.
To give you
Uh,
time, we will leave on the morrow.
appreciated. I will think on this. But yes, you should probably return me. She kind of glances over. You already see two of the guards have come together and they're discussing. They seem a little panicked and
I don't know. Did you see her? No. What about you? No, I didn't see her either.
Okay.
I will look
What
at her and say, "Are you ready?"
what you should do then tomorrow at this time, I will be near to you. I will be above you somewhere, but near to you. If you just send out the thought at this time tomorrow that you want to leave here, that you want to go visit somewhere else, send that thought out. I will hear it, and we will make sure to get you out of here.
And what kind of hair does she have? Is it dark hair? What?
oh, it's blonde. It's
Blonde.
golden blonde. She looks sun-touched in essence.
It's
Uh,
Barbie.
yeah, it's very blonde
I'm
hair,
a Barbie
pale
girl
skin,
in a Barbie world.
And what is
and
she dressed like?
amber eyes. She is wearing
Plastic.
black.
Jesus. Oh my God.
I'm trying to plow through
That's
this.
my fault. I can't be mad. That's my fault. I did that. Sorry, Internet. Wow.
oh, and I
She
thought
is.
middle schoolers were bad today.
I was a middle schooler once.
He never grew
All
up
right,
with
this is 1960s, but
Oh Lord.
it. She is wearing black, form-fitting clothes, and a black. She looks like she has a robe on. It looked like maybe she was going somewhere, or maybe just to be presentable, perhaps.
In the event that Forsyth cannot penetrate your thoughts, wear a black ribbon in your hair if you do wish to leave.
And then tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak
Old
tree.
oak tree.
And then hang the red ribbon out the window. You could use
And I'll
lots of
raise the
ribbons.
white flag. Got it.
bus driver,
I-
please look for me.
I'm gonna look at Seeker. Seeker, you're a
Gives you the
military
most
man.
exasperated look you have ever seen. Can we please be done with this? It's like, that's what that look says. Yes,
Are the
Evangeline.
guards at their breaking point?
Very close. I think you should act
They
swiftly.
have already parted, and you hear a bell starting to ring.
Well,
The space
To be
around
f-
her. You're out of time. The space around her warps, and I send her back to where she came from.
All right.
yes. To be fair, that all
And-
took all of like 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eight
it's
So-
seconds.
yeah.
Like
Talking
to
her
tell
took
her
a
what
few
to do.
minutes, but
Right, but to tell her how we would
Oh,
contact
yeah.
her, that would take like 8 seconds.
She will, once she gets into the room, you see her kind of show up into the room. She'll turn around and she'll look out the window directly at you because she knew exactly where she was. She will see you guys and then just turn and head out the door. If you watch, in a couple of minutes, everything, the bell stops ringing. Almost immediately, the bell stops ringing, and tension seems to lower again.
Does anyone have the ability to make me invisible?
Yes.
Could you please?
multiple of us.
I will do
I
that.
don't.
So once he's invisible, Seeker is going to be thinking blah, 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 and do a reconnoiter of as much of the grounds as he can until he
Okay.
feels uncomfortable. He just wants to see, in case stuff goes sideways, because our refugee camp apparently that is developed is he wants to make sure he can take a good assessment of everything that's going on in case he needs to see a way out or in or whatever. I wish there was a tactics skill. I think it would be so apropos for D&D.
Would be nice. Investigation or perception, either one. I will allow
Both of
this.
them are good, but the perception is higher, so let's go with that one by one. That is a nat 20, my friends.
Nice.
Excellent.
All right. Going around this building, just kind of taking a swooping look, you do see that these guards, now that they've kind of taken on some action and now they're calming down again, you actually can pinpoint about 6 guards, not just the 4 that was originally thought.
These
Uh,
guards are marked.
Yeah, you pinpoint about 6 guards.
Got it.
The 2 Seski are outside. You hear noises from inside, thinking there might be another one inside.
And what is a Sesky, a big cat?
A
Big dog.
Seski is a dog lizard mix.
Okay,
That's just
so
some
dinner.
SR20 stuff then,
You
I
mean
take
like
it.
you mean like Ziggy?
Ziggy
Kind of like
Marley
Ziggy, much
and
bigger.
the Melody Makers.
His lizard tongue?
URS. His lizard tongue. Yes.
Lizard.
They do not have a lizard tongue. They resemble large dogs in stature and movement. These 4-footed creatures are covered in hard, overlapping scales. The intricate patterns on the scales range from greenish brown to blackish white, spotted, to a reddish hue even of embered coals. From their backs grows a mass of organic crystals, standing about knee-high to most humans. Seski have large
Getting
teeth,
an echo.
pointed I do hear an echo. Pointed ears and sharp pointed tails. That is a Seski,
Oh, they're cute.
right?
Oh, can I get one as a pet?
Puppy.
Oh, wait, can I become one?
You've seen one. Let's see what challenge
Is
rating.
it a
Their
beast?
challenge.
Is it a beast? That's the key.
Is it a beast?
Yeah, is it a beast
Yeah.
or is it something else?
It is indeed a beast.
Oh,
It
there
is
you go.
challenge rating 1.
Oh,
Yeah, you can become one.
Are
they're
you high
minor.
enough level? I think you can, right? At this level?
I can
Yeah.
do CR2.
You totally
Oh,
could
nice.
do a Seski. Having
That might
seen
come in very handy.
Oh, that actually
Potentially.
would come in very handy.
Yeah.
Sneak around.
Finally,
Robert's
it's
saying that,
kind
not
of
Seeker.
like you got to go to the zoo.
it's got
Yeah.
Well, I
Well,
get to
single
go to the
animal
zoo one of
zoo.
these days.
Yeah.
hit points. Oh, if you were to take this form, would be 39. I don't think you roll for hit points when you take on a form. You take the standard.
Not
hit points,
generally.
right?
I just take their hit
Okay.
points. Yeah.
Speed is 60 foot.
Holy crap.
Oh, I like this.
Strength 15, Dex 14, Con 14, Intelligence
Okay.
3, Wisdom
Yeah.
13, Charisma 12. They have dark vision at
Okay.
120 feet,
All right.
and they have a bite. That is according to this, +4 to hit,
So it's
and
small.
1d6 + 2 piercing damage.
Yeah.
However, they are tenacious. Oh, and you have crystal. This beast would have a crystal resonance. The crystals along their back provide additional advantages to the creature's abilities to sense the environment and avoid certain conditions. So they're like, they have spidey senses, apparently. You have advantage on perception checks and on saving throws against being blind, charmed, deafened, frightened, or stunned.
What book is that, Jody?
This is Arcana of the Ancients.
Oh, I think I have the digital copy of that.
Okay.
When the Seski would be killed, it instead immediately gains 10 hit points. Furthermore, its attacks deal 1d6 more points of damage for 1 minute.
Damn.
And that would recharge on a 6 if you use it. So,
They're annoying.
yeah, they're a little annoying. But they are tenacious.
So, do we go and report to the lady that the deed is done so we can get on with what, saving the world and reactivating cities?
Absolutely.
Although we're not leaving till tomorrow at this point. So.
Right.
Way back through the town, winding back and forth and around and trying to avoid the keep as not to draw attention. You eventually make it back to the door. You recognize the door because the gentleman that you asked to lead you there to begin with is standing outside of it.
The blue door.
Yeah, it's the blue door.
I will look at him and say, I've come to collect the ink now.
He will smile.
There's
Come in.
one more thing from one of you mother flowers, I swear to Vishnu.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, what he said.
As he opens the door, he will say, "It is important to my lady." And he will let you in.
Who's Vishnu?
Shania turns and looks at you and says, "So, you have spoken with her.
Yes.
We
We
have.
have.
What
Yeah.
was her decision? Did
She's
she
To
have
going
think
to
any
give
about.
it
Made it
some
yet.
thought.
And some
We will know on the
research.
morrow.
Well,
Very well.
she's going to think on to be mutated or not. I will forewarn you that we have offered to take her from the city if she so chooses. But it is her choice.
Much as I would hate to see her go, may not be a bad idea.
She is the chooser of her own destiny.
And she
She
knows
will.
now that you are her mother.
I start to look around.
She may not believe it quite yet, but
I'm starting to sound like these God believers.
Said that. That didn't come out of my mouth.
That wasn't me.
Well, she will indeed choose her own destiny, and she will slide off the ring. She's lived.
What does the ring do?
It is mind shielding.
well, that could be handy for
I
tomorrow.
honestly do believe that we should not take such an implement from one such as this in this circumstance of city.
No, but
I'd
I
agree.
think I agree, but I think borrowing it for
Evangeline has
taking
a
out the keep
suggestion.
tomorrow would be a good idea.
You keep it. We will be back tomorrow. Be prepared to give it up for the afternoon or the morning.
And then we'll return it once we're done.
However, I do want the ink.
Put the ring back on. She'll reach down.
I
And she
wanted
will.
the. Nobody asked me.
You want everything.
Well, yeah, but I was going to ask a question. Would it work?
What a
Would
character, aren't you
in-
just gonna steal it later?
Oh yeah, well, I forgot about that.
Hey, come on.
Would it work in the situation where I am in beast form?
It would not.
Oh,
Magic
well, it doesn't
items
matter
don't
anyway then.
typically work in beast form.
So what good is it?
You know, when you're walking around the city and you don't want anybody to pry into your thoughts.
After being in this town for the short amount of time that I've been in this town, you need it worse than I do.
Everyone likes me.
Everyone does like you.
Everyone that doesn't know me.
She will put the ring back on and hand us. It's a tray like this. I mean, it's not very big, maybe 6 inches by 4 inches, and it has 3 bottles on it. They all appear to be black ink.
What makes this ink so special?
This is used by Galago to, write his spells and such into his books.
Evangeline takes the ink and puts it in her bag of holding.
All right. Your bag of holding or your pocket?
My pocket of holding. It's safer there.
This prevents his spells from being or makes him castable for scrolls if he wants to do a scroll. It
So
also
it's
will prevent his book from being ruined from other things.
is this that rare here? This is fairly common in any major city.
More rare here, I would assume. I procure it for him pretty much for free.
I think he gets it from you not because that you have it, but because he wants to get it from you.
Of course. Who do you think Onasa's father is?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I honestly don't care. I don't.
It's
Interesting.
it's the wizard.
Whose idea was
Secret.
Avad?
it to
It's the
come to
weird
this
thing.
crazy city and to begin with?
It's fun to have a low
Seeker's the
charisma
one that wanted to come here.
I
because
was.
I thought it was the next step on our journey to reigniting the cities, not
Well, maybe it
running
is.
errands for fools.
Maybe reigniting the cities is accepting that people of all types in this world can get along because once the cities are reignited, creatures and people from all ages may come back, and then how is that going to go over?
Would you like a flower wreath while you hug your tree?
Well, a flower wreath would be nice, but
Any
no.
trees around here?
I like flowers. Flowers are nice. Flowers are better than most people.
I'm
That's
sorry,
You're
I
because
not
you're
wrong
don't
there.
believe the laws are what dictate the behavior of people. The laws here are what they are. Therefore, I will do nothing untoward towards that. Just because cities are reignited doesn't mean they're going to get along. They will have people in them.
yes,
Therefore, peace is impossible.
But I think his point is that
and
many
maybe
people who are like the people here are possibly going to come back.
These
So you
people are
might as well
already
get used
here.
to it.
These
yes,
people
but
are
Right.
already here.
in
But
the
the
previous
cities that we
ages they were
bring
more
back,
prevalent.
You're both talking at the same time. It's
Sorry.
very disconcerting.
the cities in the past had more people like this. So there may be many more people once we bring them all back.
Speaker
So
gives you
you might
guys
as
a really confused look, like you guys act like he doesn't understand that, and just promptly walks away,
oh,
shaking his head.
Okay, I admit, I'm getting used to the thought of possibly having mutants around or those of other.
Q.
Yeah, this city's weird.
I will admit
And
this
these
city's a
people are
little odd.
crazy.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
They need to get out a little more.
Well,
Well,
if they get
they're not
out more,
exactly accepted out.
exactly.
I have to hide who I am.
Oh, so do I.
Doesn't mean you should have to.
I
Oh, but I
blend
do.
in rather well, luckily.
And what if you couldn't, Forsyth? What if everywhere you went there was a tattoo on your forehead that told everyone exactly what you were?
Then I would, I don't know, I'd ignore them.
And they tried to kill you for it.
Wear a bandana.
You think they haven't? Tried,
Exactly.
that is. But the fact is there are places I can't go, but I go anyway because I don't wear something telling them who I am. I just hide who I am.
The point is that you shouldn't have to do so.
It would be nice to not have to hide.
Right, but reality is what it is.
Reality is what we make it.
Unfortunately, it's not just us who makes it.
No, but we can fight against it for the betterment. And I
Well,
think that the gods have put us on a path to do just that.
I think the betterment is wintergreen. Anyway,
Seeker, you
I'm
make it to
so
the
glad
lift.
Seeker walked away. I'm so
Pyramid.
glad he walked away. You make it to the lift, you
spearmint's
said?
Oh yeah, you
spearmint's
make it
nice,
to the
but
lift.
peppermint.
What did you say, Jody?
You make it to the lift.
Okay.
You turn around and I don't know if they followed you or not. Nobody else said they were leaving.
He
So,
doesn't really care. The lift goes to where?
any of the tiers, first, second, or third.
Then I'm gonna have to wait here because I can't really just leave my party members. But I'm not interested in the conversation they're having, so that's why he's over here.
All right. So you're waiting by the lift. What are the rest of you?
Yeah.
Are you heading that direction?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we know if he
Okay.
goes off on his own, we're gonna have to rescue him.
That's never happened ever, but okay.
In his wildest dreams. All right. You head out to the lift. Seeker's already standing there waiting. You head into the lift. I assume you're heading to Galago.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So you're going to take the lift to the first tier, and we will take a break because I
Break!
need a bio break.
Bio!
We'll be back.
Bio break.
Hang in there.
Freak.
That's right,
And we're back.
Hi, we're back. All right. We left you off in the lift on your way up to the first tier, on your way to see Galago.
It's a very sullen secret.
Yep.
Gallagher.
Like,
Right.
can't get out of the city fast enough.
Nope.
He doesn't have any watermelons and a big hammer, right?
Yeah. So, you step off of the lift on the first tier. You know your way to Galago. I think all of you will notice it. Yeah. All of you will notice on your way to Galago that you didn't notice before. Not sure if because, well, you weren't quite paying attention. Maybe all of the people's mutations and things like that were throwing you off or something. But you notice it this time. You see a statuesque figure standing in the square where you have to pass through to get to Galagos. It looks very familiar, or at least very similar, to the statue that stands inside Fix's Home's foyer.
Interesting.
Seen
It's
that before, haven't I?
tall, cloaked, solid, circular, almost looks like onyx instead of a face, but it
And
looks
it's
like a statue.
in like the town square kind of thing.
Yep.
Haven't we seen that before?
I
Yeah.
saw that every day
What do you-
growing up.
What do you make of that being here, Fix?
I know not. Is there a plaque on it? Anything like that?
There is not.
Are there people walking by?
There are.
I'd stop somebody. Excuse
Uh,
me. What is this a
yes?
statue of? Who is this a tribute to?
This is what we call the Guardian. That, by the way, it's hard to see in here, but that's what it kind of looks like.
I see a black, like, square.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Everything's
Yeah.
super dark on it.
And what does it do?
Well, nobody really knows. We just call it the
Who
Guardian.
who tends to it?
I'm gonna do
I guess the mayor
while he's talking, I'm doing an investigation
Or
check
the-
around the statue.
Yeah. And while he's talking, I'm doing detect magic.
Gavareth,
Hmm.
perhaps? I am unsure. You're doing a detect magic?
Yeah, and she's doing investigation.
Investigation 21.
Let me pull it back up.
Why, thank you. He go back to Kadeth and wait for him to finish his detect magic.
It definitely glows. What was your 21 Arcana check? Is that what you did?
No,
I'm doing an investigation check.
Investigation. Okay.
I am specifically looking for openings.
There does not appear to be any openings. It definitely glows.
Any mechanisms, anything like that.
There is none that you can see. It seems to be just standing on a pedestal. It has a little bit of an ominous feeling.
I'm gonna look at Kadeth.
It definitely has some, I'm gonna say, evocation.
Kadeth, is it hollow?
Do I need to roll? Do you want me to roll an Arcana check?
If you
You
want
can,
to,
but
yeah.
I'm not sure that it will give you anything.
Okay.
Kadeth, can you use your ghost sight?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and look through it, I guess.
Is there anything preventing you from getting to the statue?
Dan?
What?
No. Mm-mm. It's
I'm
just
gonna
a
go identify it. I'm just gonna act like I'm
About a
touching it, and activating my armor to identify.
Okay. You. Looking at it, it is not hollow. Matter of fact, you can't even see through it. I don't think. Can you see through organic beings?
I don't know. Let me double check what the wording is on that. Solid objects is what it says. I can see through solid objects up to a range of 30 feet.
Does a human being count as a solid
And I'll,
object? I wouldn't count a human being as a solid object. We're
guess
constantly
not,
in a state of
but
flux.
I'll look all around too.
I'm
While
gonna say
I'm-
no. You don't see through flesh.
While I've got this going for a minute, I'll look all around.
All right. You look around. You see several buildings. You're able to see through several buildings. You see people milling about in various places. Some seem to be doing business. Some seem to be homemaking, cooking dinner, whatever. It seems to be an average city, as far as activity.
But nothing like under the statue or anything like that.
No. I mean,
I'm curious if
might
the
be able to see
people
the
that are
second
milling
tier, but-
around, do
Yes.
you see them the same way you see the statue?
Yeah.
As far as seeing through.
You identify.
So it seems alive.
When you go, give me a second. All right, can you hear me now? Okay, unfortunately.
We cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
There we go. Sorry.
All right. You go to identify, and you get a little bit of a shock. Not enough to cause any kind of damage, but you get a pushback. You realize that when you go to identify, this is actually a living being, not actually a statue.
Does Seeker or Kadeth? Well, Kadeth said that he sees the same, that he sees the people walking around, right?
Yeah, and I said it seems like a living being.
Seeker's just kind of standing there with his mouth open.
Fix will go and
Evangeline will go talk to Seeker.
Fix will go stand in. You might want to bring the mic a little bit closer, Jody. There's times where you say something but it doesn't pick up.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. Fix will go stand in front of it and say, and just kind of look up and say, "Are you the same that sits in my home?" And see if there's any response. If it's a living being, there may be.
I'm gonna ask Seeker if he's not sharing. I'm going to ask him what is concerning him.
He kind of looks at it. Well, let Joe go first, and then I'll do what I'm doing because it's probably going to be simultaneously. I don't know. That's up to Jody.
Could be simultaneously, depending on how stunned you are, I guess.
I'm just saying Joe asked first. That's why.
Yeah, it does not respond to you.
So while my thing, the armor is still connected, I say out loud, but not like really loud. But Evangeline's standing right there, so I say it loud enough for her to hear. I see you, and I know you're here. Is there anything you wish to share with us? Many of the old gods have us on a journey to correct some things, it seems. And we're given these cards that change as we are successful in doing whatever it is their will is. What say you?
If there's no response, I have an idea.
What's that, Chuck?
I said if there's no response, I have an idea.
Okay.
Dramatic pause.
You will see out of the bottom of the cloak, in essence, just slide out a card.
Pick it up and look at it.
It is, the picture on it is stormy. It is, it looks like a night sky, but there's storm clouds. Maybe there's some lightning going through it. You see rain coming out of it. You don't see the ground. You only see the sky.
Okay.
It's, you're not sure at first glance what this card actually might be.
I look at the statue and I go, please don't think that I'm ungrateful, but another card. We'll do
Can
our
I see
best to
that?
make this one reveal itself as well. I'm not saying this super, I'm not whispering, but only loud enough for Evangeline to hear because she came up and asked me. I'm not yelling this, especially with the freaks that are in this town. I don't want to broadcast what I'm doing. But if you're close by, Kadath, I don't know why you couldn't hear me. Unless Jody says otherwise, of course.
Yeah, no. If you're nearby, you can hear it. Seeker's not
Yeah.
trying to do this silently, just not letting.
Loud.
I was
Not-
just gonna ask for the card, but
Oh, I'll hand it off to you because you kind of are a resident card keeper. So
Card keeper.
Card keeper.
Card sharp.
but then I'm gonna, while I'm looking at it and seeing if I can figure out what card it is, I'm gonna call Forsyth over. Maybe he's not right there.
Okay.
Forsyth, do you think you might be able to reach out to this being telepathically and
have to be
see if
within
maybe
30
they could
feet of 'em,
answer?
but-
Well, it's the
Oh,
statue we're standing in front of.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
the
I
statue
can
is a
try.
creature, and see if it can answer some of Fix's questions. I
Sure.
think his questions may have some merit.
I can sure try. So I will, yeah, I'll go ahead and detect, or try to telepathically link with the statue.
Right. What do you send to it?
Can you hear me?
He
Can
will
you hear me
respond.
now?
Can you hear me now? He will respond. I can.
Question, or you just gave them
We have some questions we'd like to ask you. Then I start asking Fix for the questions.
I guess the first question is he the same that stands guard in my house?
Are you the same that stands guard in the in this guy's house? The house
In
of
the Trinston family home.
Trinston family home there.
In key.
He will respond.
Yeah,
I
in
am
Keys.
one and the same.
You are one and the same. Okay. Curiouser and curiouser. Fix?
What is his name besides the Guardian? Or what else is he known by?
Do you have a name you normally go by?
The latest.
The what?
The latest.
How
The
do you
latest?
spell this?
Philethis.
Philetus. Okay. What kind of things go on in his house? That's my own question.
What kind of things go on in his house?
He seems like a strange bird, doesn't he? He can't hear me saying all this. So the statue can. Fix can't.
Many things take place before me.
Is he a god?
Are you a deity?
That I am not.
So does he know Six?
Do you know this gentleman here?
Why, yes. He is the youngest.
He's the youngest, okay.
Are there many
Was
other
he a
homes he stands guard over?
You stand guard over other homes?
No.
Was he the brattiest?
Fix
Brat?
can't Gibbs him.
Hold on. No, he can't.
No, you can't hear me.
Now I have to look up your sibling. Hold on.
Well, he
He's
had a
looking for
sister
dirt on
and a
Fix.
yeah.
The way I'm
The answer
picturing
to that is he is the youngest.
Yeah. That would be an answer.
He will say the mischief maker was Brumon.
Ah,
However,
however.
he
I
got
could
away with
picture
everything.
I could picture Fix like after being tormented by his siblings would just come and like vent all his problems in front of this thing.
It's possible. I mean, it does kind of give off a humanoid type of appearance, even though.
Right.
So he was the whiniest.
Yeah.
Any other questions, Fix?
Does he converse with my mother?
Do you converse with the lady of the house
When needed.
when needed? Okay. I will pass that back along to Fix, waiting for his next query.
Tell him I said thank you.
Well, he says thank you.
For
Well,
guarding my home.
For guarding his home. He's appreciative of the efforts you put in to ensure their safety.
of course.
So what secrets can you tell me about him that might be embarrassing to him?
Knew that was coming.
I don't know. What
This
would you
one
do?
time,
I don't know. He'll probably tell you some kind of story of a time that he got pranked or something that,
Yeah.
blew in his hair. Who knows?
Well, I'd like to know. That's why I asked.
Fix will
something you
have to
could
give you
easily
an embarrassing
replicate.
story about Fix. Because I don't know. I didn't think that far ahead.
Sorry. You got to remember you're dealing with a nut.
This is true. I do forget that. I will come up with something. So you
Okay.
can lord it over him later.
So I'm looking at the card at this point, just studying it, see what I can figure out. I don't know if you have any other things you want to ask Six, but
Not at the
as
moment.
best as you can tell, of all of the cards that you know could be part of this conglomeration, it would be either it's one of three: the comet, the star, or the sun. You're not 100% sure which one it is. because it is just a stormy night sky.
Okay. So this one may have a lot more steps involved.
There's definitely not a clear direction yet.
Forsyth, can you ask this being what he knows about this card?
And I ask, what do you know about this card that my friend is holding?
Swamp shrouded in evil.
What was that?
The swamps are shrouded in evil.
Swamps?
Swamps.
Swamps.
You know, where the
Thirsty
Cajuns
land.
live.
Down in the valley.
Tea.
In the
Hey,
bayou.
I got family there.
I just said guaranteed.
Gary.
Guarantee.
Do we? Let's see. I'm trying to remember where. Ah, shoot! I can't go in and look at the map.
I know.
I can look at it this way. It's fine.
Crab.
Okay. I don't know. It was whatever it had there automatically for a moment.
I think.
So where are swamps? North of here?
When swamps were last brought up, which I think was shortly after Seeker's Walk Vision Quest, the Ba Adenu forest has swamps.
Okay. So location number 2. Missing city number 2, whichever one that is.
Right. Okay.
Oh, thank God. Let's go.
Well, we
Soon
have
enough.
to wait.
We have 24 hours. What do you know of? And I'll name whatever the city is. I don't remember the name of it right offhand, but I'm sure Ronda can find it quick enough.
Are we talking about?
Number 2.
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
That is.
Oops.
That is Stilolio. Stilolio.
Pololio?
Stilolio.
It was the second city that fell.
So what do you know of Pololio is what I'll have him ask.
And I'll ask.
It is the city of the forest.
I like forests. Respect the forest.
I mean, that would make sense.
That is. It is an ancient city.
Oh.
Long gone.
Much of this land is long gone.
Well, I think we have our next major destination.
That we do.
What time we get to going?
But
I'll
that's
give
a
the-
city that's already
So
fallen.
hopeful.
Well,
Yes, but so was this last that we just pulled
no.
people from, was it not?
No.
We have none of them that we've gone to have been fallen already.
Well, perhaps the gods know something that we do not.
Maybe their falling was not what we are thinking of. Maybe it was more that they are still redeemable in some way. But I think
Perhaps.
investigation is necessary to determine that.
Obviously, it is a place where we are being guided to, it would appear.
Apparently.
Although going back to Thrice would not be a bad idea, and
I still intend to return home for a short period.
yeah, I don't think one day here or there, or even longer period, as long as it's not too long, will matter at the moment.
Because
These cities have been lost for hundreds, if not thousands of years already. A few weeks won't matter one way or the other.
That's true.
And I don't think we've drawn enough attention where we're fighting against time in that way either. Where we may eventually come to find ourselves short on time because of others trying to prevent what we are doing.
I imagine that'll eventually happen.
Possibly. I'm sure there are those who don't want these cities to return.
The more we return, the more pressure will be put on us.
Yes, but any research we can do beforehand as we go should only make it easier to get the rest of them each time.
in the meantime, Evangeline's going to head to, what's his name?
And before I go, I'm
Galileo.
gonna give a short bow to the statue before I go.
Okay.
It thanks, basically.
And I will dislodge the probe or whatever it is.
All right.
And I will respectfully say thank you as well.
All right.
I will just speak to it and say thank you for your help. It's been very informative and very appreciated.
And I'll
And
stow
Fix
the
will
card away with the rest.
and Fix will turn and follow Evangeline, and he'll kind of wave behind him and say, "Goodbye, my friend," or "Until next time, my friend."
Galagos. It stays there. It does not respond. Does not move. Does not do anything. Looks like a statue. You go ahead and head into Galagos. Galago looks up. He sees you all.
I go straight
My
up to the
ink?
counter. I pull the ink out of my pocket and I on the counter and say, "Why did you really send us down there?"
Gets a very mischievous grin on his face. You are the first group that have come by that has a human female here. Shania would have needed your help.
And if we refused?
I reach over to the tray and I pick up the middle of the jar of ink and put it in my pocket.
Fair enough.
Do we understand each other?
Yes, yes. Had you refused, I would have found another way. Or attempted another way. Where I am assuming you were successful with Shania, considering you have the ink.
Well, we've talked to your daughter. we've told her what we could, and we should know more tomorrow on her decision.
Well,
And it is her decision.
at least she is thinking about it.
Yes, yes.
But as right now, I believe she is being used as a pawn.
What
I
does
wouldn't
it
know what that feels like.
what does it mean to be in service to the guy's name? I forgot what it was.
Gavareth.
Gavareth.
Could be a plethora of things. He has those in service to him that are literally just servants. He has those in service to him that is more of a concubine. He has some that are wives, some that are, and he kind of just gets a little wide-eyed, worshippers.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like that's what they want her for because it's almost a forced servitude.
Feeling, given who she's with now, more than likely she was to be a wife.
Doesn't sound like she wanted to be.
Probably doesn't. But to her, there was no other path until now.
There's always another path.
Why, thank you. And teleportation I shall give.
Not yet.
Tomorrow.
And expect the possibility of an additional traveler.
And expect the possibility of more than one.
One travel?
One teleportation.
Oh.
It's going to depend on the price we end up having to pay at the end.
We have
have
paid
a
our
price
price.
now.
Yeah, but
Yeah, this price was good.
we don't know what kind of resistance we're going to meet. That's the price I mean.
If
It's
we find
only six
resistance,
that's going, right? On the teleportation trip, right?
no, there are others.
You can all go if you so choose.
Oh, I thought it was just one person.
No.
Oh no, the teleportation, I can easily take 10. Or I can send 10.
We have horses.
I get a little tricky.
Just say
Might
nay.
take more than one. Nay. You don't say. Oh, well, if you're in town for the evening, feel free to taste the I don't know why baklava came in my head. I think I want some baklava.
I like baklava.
Now I want some baklava.
I haven't had baklava in a while.
Me either.
I like baklava.
Now I'm going to have to go to the Greek festival.
I don't know anybody that doesn't like baklava, and if they don't, I'm a little bit wary of them.
I know one. So, and I'm always leery of her.
But yeah, he will guide you to some great food stands, to a place where you can stay, and he will reach down into the counter, and he'll pull out a coin, and he will hand it out to anybody who will take it.
Vix will take it.
This will your stay at the inn is on me.
Is it just like a gold coin, or is it a different?
No, it's a little different. It's a metal coin, but it's not gold. It's just silver or whatever.
It got a symbol
coin,
of
an
an
iron
cog
cog.
with.
It's the local coin.
It's got it's actually got a symbol of like a little potion and book on it.
Oh, it's his marker.
Yeah, you figure it's something that has to do with him specifically.
And it's just like a silver coin? It's not obtanium?
No, it is not obtanium. Sorry.
Well, just curious. Nothing to be
No.
sorry about.
Other parts of the city, however, you have noticed are pieces of obtanium mixed with steel and various other metals. The oldest parts of the city, like the legs, the outer walls of the floor of the second tier. The floor of the second tier? Yeah, the floor of the second tier was mostly obtanium. But the rest of the structures are kind of a mixture of obtanium and steel.
Gotcha.
So he does direct you to an inn and some food and various carts, places to go to visit the city. Do you head to the inn, get a night's rest?
What time is it now?
Sure.
It is approximately. You were early evening when you went down to.
So it's getting late.
So it is getting late.
Then yeah, I would turn in.
Yeah. Although, I had a thought. We could look for like tomorrow morning, maybe look for a blacksmith in town and see if there's any that know how to work obtanium.
You mean
If you're
besides
running,
myself?
well, like if they have any pointers for how to do more with it than what you've already figured out on your own.
He looks at I look at Kadath with like an incredulous look like
What do you mean?
you
Somebody teach me something?
You never know what they might know that you don't know. It's always worth looking.
I agree
You
it's
know,
worth looking, but I doubt it'll be fruitful, but we can look.
It gives us something to do in the morning.
Yes.
I'm going to sit in the corner, pull out my little construct, and I'm going to ritually cast Find Familiar.
Okay.
I will guard Evangeline while she's doing that.
All right. You do get a few looks, but magic's not unheard of here.
Nothing to see here. Move it along.
They're
These are
very
not the
curious.
droids you're looking for.
But you do get a few curious looks. Roll me Arcana. Your Numenera Arcana.
A 22.
22. All right. You cast this Find Familiar in it, and none of the rest of you know Find Familiar, do you? Okay.
I don't know.
No.
You cast this spell, and you've modified it a little bit. And it's as soon as you finish it, an energy, which the rest of you will see, kind of starts to gather, and starts to take the form of, I don't know, a small rabbit. It starts to take that form as it lays over top of the tiny construct. But then it kind of just melds into the tiny construct. You believe it is successful.
But what was that going to do?
I'm going to, because I'm new at this, I'm going to have it construct walk over to Kadath, and I'm going to try to just see in my mind.
Okay. see Evangeline kind of concentrate a little bit, and you see the tiny construct walk over to Cadet. Evangeline's eyes get clouded over, like almost like they're blind. There's a fog to them. I mean, you can still see her pupils and stuff, but there's a fog covering up her eyes. Evangeline, you see the movement. It's a little disorienting at first because the construct's a little clunky, and it kind of rocks back and forth as it's moving forward. You only see this far off the ground, so you're like walking through. You see a bunch of feet, legs, shoes, table legs. As you're walking, you hear a clank, and you kind of turn. You see the tiny construct kind of turn to see it, and you see a tankard on the ground. Somebody reaches down and picks it up, not paying any attention to your tiny construct really. You're looking through your tiny construct.
Oh, shake my head, clear my thoughts, call my tiny construct back,
It'll begin to walk back to you.
and I will pick it up when it gets there, and I will look at Kadath. Then I'll glance at Fix, but then I'll look back to Kadath, and I'll tell him, I can see through him.
Oh, that could be useful. How loud was this thing when it was moving?
Very loud. I mean, think the like cheek 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 of a wind up toy without the bzzz of the winding.
And they're
Okay.
small. They're not
yeah,
big.
they're only
small.
like this big.
Okay. Well, so not extremely stealthy, but
Rat
still
size.
useful. While we're sitting there, I want to pull out all the cards.
Okay.
And just to make sure I've got them all correct at this point, we've got the dungeon card, and I'm going to lay them in the order that we got them in. So there's the dungeon card, which that one looks complete. The rogue, which looks complete. Balance looks complete.
Balance
then,
was before the rogue.
Oh, balance was before the rogue?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I wanted to make sure I've got them in the right order on my notes too, because I have thoughts and I want to see if it pans out. And then the last one before the one we just got was the Talon card, and that one looks complete now, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then the one we just got, you named a couple that it could be. What were those?
Comet, star, or sun. You're not quite sure. They all have to do with nature and the sky kind of thing.
Okay.
Or the moon. Sorry, I forgot about the moon.
Comet, star, sun, or moon.
Yeah.
Okay. With those in mind, and thinking about like card order and things of that nature, does there seem to be, just thinking about different ways the order could matter, does there seem to be an order we're getting the cards in? Or does it seem to be just completely random?
It seems to be completely random.
Okay. Is there anything that seems to tie them together other than that they seem to be from the same set?
Not that you can tell. They just seem to be from the same set.
Okay.
And they are pretty. The more that you've fooled around with these cards and looked at these cards, the more it's becoming obvious that they are indeed from the same set. Like, for real.
Right. Okay. No, unless anybody else has anything with them, I'll go ahead and put them away.
We did the prison card
That was
prior to
dungeon. That was the very first one, right?
the dungeon card. And we did it prior to the sword. And then we did the balance.
Yeah. And the balance had to do with,
Because although there was not a physical card, I believe there is a connection to the door.
I was curious about that myself.
Because when I looked at the door, I saw an image that would associate with a card. Which is why I'm so adamant about we need to get back the key.
Yeah. Well, and is there a card that would seem to be in this set that would have to do with either a sword or a door?
Yes. Well, yes. The only card that really kind of feels like it might belong to a door is either the dungeon card or the key card. But the typical ruins card has a broken sword on it.
Ruin?
And ruin. And that's what was on the door, right?
That's
a broken sword.
Well, then I'm curious to go to key and see if there's a card that was there that we just did not find. Because at the time we didn't know really to look for them.
Correct.
We didn't really start looking for them until after we got the balance card.
Right.
But the balance card was sometime after getting the sword. And actually, it was after we even got back to Thrice and did some research. Was it after we went to the one city, or was it before that?
It was just prior to us leaving. We were on our way to go to, I believe, to see.
I don't remember where we got
Lady.
balance
I
at.
think we were headed to Lady Guerra, but we went to Saji before that. But we finished that balance card right before we went to Saji.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I'm not sure.
We have plenty of things to keep us busy.
Yeah. I think finding out if there was a card that we missed would be a good idea, because that gives us one more completed card that, assuming we did miss one, that we aren't anticipating later incorrectly.
Correct.
stay the night?
Yep.
Do you stay in one room, separate rooms, private rooms? It's on Galago.
There's safety in numbers.
Are we in danger?
You don't perceive any danger. At least not as of yet.
But we did just still snatch, borrow a daughter.
Communicated with.
No one even knows she was missing.
Yes, but if her thoughts slip, her current
Parental
captor would know to look for us.
Fair enough. Does
And
anyone
we
know any sort of warding?
Nope.
I do not.
I have a guardian I can bring up, but only for a minute.
I can. What is the duration of this? I would have to continue
Oh.
concentration,
Oh,
but
no.
only to an hour.
Well, I suggest we set up a sturdy watch and go to bed then. It's been a
Yes.
long, annoying day.
Well, yes,
Use a
but
lot.
that is because you are old and grumpy. Or young
I
and
don't
grumpy,
think
whichever.
Young and grumpy.
mm,
Either way, you
coming
are
from
grumpy.
you, that
Who
means
are you
absolutely
calling
nothing.
scruffy looking?
Coming from you, that means absolutely nothing.
I would expect no less.
And there you shall have it.
I am glad
And he
that you
walks
can
away. He walks away. He
accommodate
doesn't
me.
let him say it. He just walks away. And he has
Fix.
silence behind him. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Uh, Fix will find some time before he actually sleeps to pray to Gond.
Say some prayers to God.
Yep. Just kind of on everything that's going on. This city, it's very odd to him that this is Gond's city. His what he spoke of with pride, and it has fallen to such disarray.
Oh.
And asks for guidance on returning it to its proper glory. But then he will go into his sleep.
All right. You're setting up watches though?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. Who's
I'll
got
get
first
the
watch?
first.
Okay. Who's got second?
I'll
I
take
will wake
last.
someone up at random, I swear.
And last?
Fix will take
Okay.
last.
Okay. Forsyth, did you also want to take watch? I thought I saw you say something, but
Yeah.
it didn't come through.
Yeah, I said last, but doesn't
Oh,
matter.
Well, make up your mind. Who's taking
You
last?
can have more than one
You
person
can
on
both
watch if you want.
Yeah.
You can both be on watch if you like.
Yeah.
Okay. First watch. Roll me a perception.
Perception. 18.
All right. Your watch seems to go by pretty uneventful. There is some noises coming from the halls and downstairs. You listen intently. You hear some walking back and forth. It seems to be the same person going back and forth on the hall.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't seem to be pausing at all, like at your door or anything like that. They just seem to be going back and forth from downstairs to upstairs to downstairs to
Okay.
upstairs. So,
I will leave them be.
all right, you wake up Evangeline.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up. Roll me perception.
It's a 10.
With your 10, um, it's pretty quiet at the beginning of your watch. But about the middle of your watch, you do hear some noise in the hallway. You hear some explanatives, and then they seem to walk on. Almost as if somebody tripped or something of that nature, and they walk on. Wake up. Forsyth and Fix?
Sure.
All right. I need perception from both of you, or one of you can do it with advantage.
I have a +6 I can do with advantage if you want.
Either way, I
22.
wasn't. That works.
Okay. With a 22. All right. Um,
We see the color of their teeth.
maybe, well, not even an hour into your watch. I'd say Evangeline really just finally hit her deep sleep, getting into a deep sleep. You're going to hear a gentle tapping on the door.
I'll open the door.
I'll stand back with the spell ready.
Oh, okay. You see the gentleman from Shania.
Oh,
He's got the pendant.
gotcha.
Also, no poison
I
spray.
think I gave him a name, but I don't remember what name I gave him.
His name can be Bob.
Okay, his name is Bob.
Uh,
Uncle
I'll
Bob.
I'll look
Uncle
back
Bob.
to Forsyth and I'll say, "I've got this. I'll be right back." And
All
he'll
right.
step out and close the door behind him.
Okay. He seemed a little surprised to see that Forsyth was up. Um, he kind of nods you down to the bar.
I follow.
It's super early. You do hear some noise from the kitchen as they're getting, people are getting up, baking bread, getting started for breakfast basically. But there's nobody in the bar itself. Um, he will take you over to a corner, kind of away from the kitchen, and he will say, "There is no one I report to here."
Hmm. Are you the only presence in the city?
There is another. What is your interest?
For me to know.
It is for us to question.
And I'm very appreciative of your questions, but I cannot give you that. Is it Shania by chance?
Oh no, she is totally unawares. Well,
Understood.
maybe not totally, but
Is it the snake or any of her close?
there is one in her employ.
Are they loyal to her out of loyalty or out of necessity?
Necessity.
Good, because if this goes south, I will lose no sleep on her death. And I expect no repercussions from this person.
No. No. If they find themselves caught on the wrong side of battle, they will fight as though if they are loyal. However, should they survive, they will not retaliate.
Now I will leave the choice up to you. Are you going to tell me who this is, or are you going to chance the fact that they may die in battle to my comrades? Or I?
To the cause, I will chance that they may die in battle.
Very well. What? Oh shit.
Not here, it draws flies.
Hmm. What did his mother go by in that persona?
She is the mistress.
Does the mistress visit here often?
The mistress has not been to Nyliesh in about 10 years.
We'll trust that she has eyes here, beyond your own.
Oh, oh. You saying there is a third?
There is not another mutant or human or elf that I am aware of, but she has eyes everywhere.
Good to know.
He'll
That I was overly concerned.
You're overly concerned? Why?
I said not that I was overly
Oh,
concerned.
neither was I. I just wanted to get the lay of the land.
Very well.
He'll leave a couple silver or whatever on the table to pay for drinks, and then he'll head back to the room.
All right. He will part out the door. All right.
Actually, I'll bring a drink back up for Forsyth.
Hey.
I'm just a minor.
Minor illusion.
He
We're
opens up the door and he's in his kid form. Oh well.
Yeah, I don't think that there was a drinking age in these times.
Wake up, kid.
I mean, to be fair, if you could ask for it, I think they'll still give it to you in some places.
It was that a lot of times it was safer to drink than water.
This
That's true.
Germany, right?
So, you finish out your rest. You get a long rest, so if you've used spells or whatnot, make sure you get those all back. Any hit points and such, you can also get back.
Any capabilities?
Yep. Any capabilities, wild
That's the
shapes,
important stuff.
all that stuff. All right. You wake up, you go downstairs, you get yourself some breakfast, get yourselves ready for the day to just kind of
Captain Crunch.
chill. What is your plan for the day?
I thought we were leaving.
To
We have a
figure
hard.
out,
Well,
we have
until
to
you get
we have to
We have
check
a-
on
evening.
and
Do
We have a
we?
hard. We have a
Do we
hard
really?
stop. We do have a hard stop at the point that we need to pick up the girl or check on her
or
decision.
check on her. Yep.
Yes.
Why don't we
Just
wait
like
around
fish.
until she makes her decision and then go?
Well, there's a hard stop. I think
We
you
have
could go to
hours.
noon. Yeah.
Yeah. It's it's near to the evening.
Okay.
I
near
get
to the
that.
evening.
I was hoping that we would just, not
Well,
talk
we could
all
do.
for like another 2.5 hours and do really nothing. That's what
Well,
Seeker's saying.
well, Seeker, you are more than welcome to be silent, and we will be much appreciative of that.
I'd be
Do you
happy to be silent as long as I have something to do.
sit here and we'll be
You
back?
can
No,
think.
we go
You
shopping.
can think. Um, I do like Kadath's idea, and when we finish breakfast, we'll say, let's go find the blacksmith, and look at the others. And you're welcome to join if you would like. Looking more pointedly at Evangeline.
All right.
all right.
You find a blacksmith. Roll me your forging skill.
My with advantage as I typically do.
Yes. Because you have the aid of God.
Yes. 28.
Good heavens. All right. You find a blacksmith, and he starts sharing some various tips and tricks. Uh, it's nothing you don't already know, really. Um, you do pick up a little bit on how to meld obtanium with another substance, since you've really only worked strictly with obtanium,
True.
because that was your goal. But you do learn a little bit of technique on melding it with stronger substances and whatnot. So
Mm.
you do learn a little bit, but kind of, I think I could have figured it out eventually.
Well, yeah, but and Fix, especially it being, his craft and everything and his passion, he will also share knowledge with the blacksmith on how to work with it.
The blacksmith will greatly appreciate that. Um, yeah, and you notice right away with this blacksmith, it's pretty advantageous. He's got 3 arms, 3
Hmm.
hands.
That does help. Um, Looking around his wares, anything of note?
Depends on what you're looking for. He's got some basic armor, nothing, nothing. Though ornate, he's got some cool designs and stuff in the armors, but nothing that would be like magical per se.
Okay. Kadath, were you looking for anything?
No, I was more curious for your sake.
Well, I appreciate that. Fix would also share the plans that he has drawn up and put a little first, he invented the trademark and copyright uh, in this world. Um, the plans for his portable forge and offers to license the design out to him.
Ooh, he would be much interested in that, for sure. That is really awesome.
I did have an interesting thought, but this
What's that?
this obtanium stuff.
Yes.
If you were to make armor out of it, how would it compare to just standard armor?
Um, with a very fine craftsmanship, you could. I don't remember if Adam. It's. I think it's like adamantine.
Yeah, that's
Can't
Okay.
cancel crits.
Yeah.
can't be
Cancel
crit.
crit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It would be like adamantine. He said it's durable enough that a solid hit's not gonna do much damage or as much damage.
Um,
You're still gonna get hurt, but
how much would it cost to get enough to make a set of scale mail for someone my size?
how much is adamantine scale mail?
I don't know.
I
Look that
believe
I
up.
thought
it's
it was 1,000. I thought it
yeah,
was 1,000, I think.
yeah, 1,000 over normal price.
Mm.
Okay.
so
So
whatever normal is
That's
plus
how much it
scale,
$1,000.
will be.
So a little over 1,000 gold. Okay.
Because
Just curious.
that's how I do shopping.
Yeah.
scale
Okay.
mail is
Feels like 50 or something.
50. So yeah, it'd be 1,050.
Yeah.
Do you have any raw obtanium?
Not at the moment.
Okay,
A lot of what I use is melted down from unused items.
Hmm.
understood.
I mean, we don't exactly have mining capability here. We're in the air.
True.
Where was this stuff originally mined from?
I have no idea. I've
Okay.
lived in this
Good to
city all
know.
my life.
It's not something people really talked about at any point.
Nope,
That's fair.
I don't know that even Fix knows at this point.
not yet. You just know it's old, it's ancient. It's not something that's readily available in the modern world.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll run
Right?
across bits and pieces that we could use.
Yep. Perhaps.
We have been collecting it in little bits as we found it.
Excellent. All right, the time comes.
For no.
I mean, oh, you go to the blacksmith. I mean, anybody else want anything to be done?
Not really.
All right. So about the time comes that you're going to head down to the second tier again. You check in with Shania.
Yes.
Okay. And then what was the plan to?
Wait and see if she's going to come or not on the
To
balcony.
see if she is in her
Okay.
window with a black ribbon in her hair.
Okay.
And a yellow one around the oak tree and a red one
Yeah.
hanging off
And
the
a
window.
red one hanging off
Because
the
if I
window.
don't see a ribbon around that old oak tree, I'm getting on the bus. Forget about
Damn.
us. And don't put the blame on me. Okay?
I will fly up. I will fly up there again as a raven and
All right.
and try to detect her thoughts
Okay.
if she's indeed in the room.
As she's on the premises. She is in her room currently. Her thoughts are not on leaving the city. Her thoughts are not
Okay.
on leaving the city. Her thoughts are simply on getting to Shania at the moment.
Okay.
Well, we can do that too.
And
We
she
can do
is putting together her own little
Go back.
knapsack. Yeah, go bag. And after a moment while you guys are up there, you see her open the window. And she looks. And she climbs out. She grabs her little go bag. She does not have a black ribbon in her hair. There's no red ribbon hanging off the window. There is no
Okay.
yellow ribbon on the old oak
I
tree.
think the black ribbon was the only real one.
Yes.
There's no white flag on the.
There's no white flag upon her door.
No. She climbs out and she jumps down to the ground between guards because she was watching that. And you're watching this the whole time. You could tell that she's watched. She's
And thought this out.
observant. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's thought this out. She walks by one of the Seskies, tosses it some meat, goes over to the wall, scales the wall, jumps over it, and starts heading into the city.
There's
I
a
will,
whole day we'll never get back.
I will alert the rest and I will follow her.
All
Just
right.
say if we see her doing this, I'm gonna get down there quick and.
Well, I'm
Sure.
telepathically letting you know.
For the love of Kellenmore, she's made her decision. Can we please go now?
Well, I'd like to make sure that she gets there safely,
Agreed.
and it's relatively on our way.
With a
Yeah.
huge sigh,
True.
Seeker takes to the sky so he can watch from above, unobtrusively.
All right. You watch her walk through some of the alleyways. She seems to be taking a very odd route. She's not going straight there. And as she's taking this route and whatnot, you don't see anyone following her necessarily, at least not at first. Toward the end of this, you do see somebody kind of walk up next to her. She gets a little startled. They seem to have a small conversation. And then she follows.
Do we recognize this person?
Good night, folks. I gotta go.
Oh, it is
All right.
9:31.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Bye.
we're going to wrap this up.
Okay, let me know what
Um,
happens.
Yep. Do you recognize him from as being one of the main spies, the main spy that was giving you the information and whatnot? And they walk on for a little bit.
Does he notice
then they-
us?
I don't know. Does he notice you? I don't know if he would.
I'm not
bother us.
necessarily worrying about being secretive
Yes.
myself.
Yes, he will.
Okay.
He does indeed notice you. and recognizes you, so he's not overly concerned. Which he lets his guard down a little bit more, knowing that you guys are there, and he doesn't have to be quite as on his guard. Um, he leads her into the building where you know Shania is, and they disappear into that building.
I say she made her decision.
And she is there. You guys can choose to pop in if you want to, or just, you know what, let's go to Galago, let's get out of here.
I'll go ahead and pop in real quick.
Same
I'm
with
gonna
Vix.
go
And
through, but I'm staying in Raven form.
Okay.
and once I see her in there, I'll just say, have you chosen to stay behind then?
She says, I have. I found some things that supports your claims, and I think I would like to get to know my real mother.
Very well. I wish you the best of luck. Keep your head down.
I will.
Who
It may
else is
come
it?
to both.
Who else
Eventually.
is in the room? Shania or Shalea, the girl, and who else?
Probably about 4 per spies or so. The one that you saw walk in with her, and the guy that has the jagged dream necklace.
He'll look to him and say, if needed, get me a message.
Indeed. I will.
And then we'll head out. Well, Fix will head out if Kadath does.
Oh yeah, I'm
Alright.
satisfied.
You guys make your
Likewise.
way to Galago, and from there, that is where we're going to stop.
Okay.
Pick up at Galago's when you're getting ready to teleport out of there. Next
When he's
week.
about to smash the watermelon with the big hammer.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
that's how he does his teleportation circle.
I'll have to come up with something. He's a little eccentric. He'll sprinkle you with that special ink. You are teleported. You are teleported.
Oh man, I
Lucky
just
I
bought
don't
this.
All right.
wish him like a bug.
He'll leave there with all kinds of speckles on your face. All right. Well, we're gonna get off of here. So we're gonna sign out. Thanks to all that are watching. We're glad you joined us. Remember, if you haven't done it already, hit that subscribe button. And don't forget, you can check out our website at dndaddjokes.com to find out other things, all of the things that we post during the week, the town crier, GM notes, etc. You can also find all of our other social media links there as well. And we hope you had as much fun as we did. And we'll see you next week for more adventures on the Gods Challenge.